Denise, please pay attention.
Hello, my name is Logan Duncan, and I am making a speech today for you about sleep and its effects. So I would like to ask all of you to start, are you feeling that you have enough sleep at night? Does anybody feel they have enough sleep at night?
No.
Nobody has enough sleep at night. Riley was just telling us a few minutes ago that she only had 2 hours of sleep last night. And in fact, the majority of the country doesn't have enough sleep at night. In fact, the average time that everyone has of sleep every night is about 6.8 hours, which is less than what we're supposed to have. Is what doctors say is 7 to 9 is the necessary hours that they recommend. A recent study has found that Americans now average about 6.8 hours every night, and our society has become sleep deprived, and it affects us more than we're realizing. Sleep is an incredibly crucial part of our life, and I believe that our knowledge about it, what hinders it and what improves it, is necessary for us to function properly and be healthy. So, my first point is, what is the importance of sleep? Sleep is essential for everybody in order to be healthy. Sleep does many things for us humans and our bodies. From day one out of our mother's wombs, our body is taking in information, and when it's not taking in information, it's sleeping. Infants can sleep up to 16 hours a day, which is 2/3 of a day. That's a lot of time. And infants grow faster than any other age. And so since they're growing that much, they need sleep. It's a huge necessity. It does many things for us, such as allowing us to heal and recover, which is true for many cases, such as like bodybuilders. Bodybuilders, they can't do that if they don't have any sleep. Like if you go ask a bodybuilder, they probably get like 10 plus hours every night. If they didn't get that much sleep, they wouldn't be getting anywhere. Also, any injuries that people get, we need sleep for that, because sleep is our time to recover, and if we don't have any time to recover, how are we supposed to heal? Sleep is also necessary for our mental health. It can allow us to have an improved memory and remember things, such as when a student studies for a test. If a student studies for a test and doesn't get any sleep that following night, the next day they're not going to do well, they're not going to perform well, because they don't remember what they studied, their brains are shot. Sleep allows us to work at peak mental capacity when we have a sufficient amount. This is why when people do not get enough sleep, they tend not to think completely straight. This brings me to my next point of causes that can cause people not to sleep, such as sleep disorders. There are over 70 sleeping disorders that are categorized into 3 things. The 5 most common ones are insomnia, sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and narcolepsy. Over 40 million people in the U.S. suffer from such sleep disorders. Lack of sleep is normally associated with insomnia. That's the first category. This prevents people from being able to fall asleep and sleep for an adequate amount of time, and is known to cause a lot of trouble in falling asleep for most people who have it. This can be an extremely frustrating problem, as the victim who realizes his issue can't do much to help themselves. This can also cause an abundant amount of drowsiness the next day and cause the person to underperform. It can even cause people to lead into depression. An example of disturbed sleep is sleep apnea. This is very dangerous sleep disorder in which those affected are short of breath during sleep. Especially when untreated, those affected can stop breathing over hundreds of times throughout the night. This can cause their body to get insufficient oxygen while they sleep, and can affect the quality and effects of their sleep no matter how long the person was actually asleep. In the next case of a type of sleep is narcolepsy. The problem is not falling asleep, but actually staying awake. Narcolepsy is a constant issue of one's ability to stay awake. As one can imagine, this can be extremely dangerous, such as people driving in cars can get drowsy, get in car crashes. There's nothing they can really do about this, because it's not that they need an adequate amount of sleep, it's that their body can't help but fall asleep. This brings me to my next main point, which is ways to improve our sleep. Our country's increase in technology has actually played a huge role in the amount of sleep that the country is getting. We need to use it in caution for our purposes to sleep better and perform better. Firstly, our use of technology with screens such as smartphones, which emit blue light, is known to decrease the user's melatonin production. Melatonin is extremely useful, and its purpose is to allow us to transition into our sleeping state. When we use such an abundant amount of these technologies, we cause ourselves to get much worse sleep. A 2011 National Sleep Foundation poll found that people who texted within 1 hour of going to bed were less likely to report having a good night's sleep. use of technologies can also interrupt our body's circadian rhythm. So one must be careful to keep light exposure during the day exceeding that of our exposure towards the evening, especially from our smartphones and technologies. Well, also, another way that we can help increase our sleeping habits is to drink less caffeine. Caffeine has many benefits, but it can prevent your body from relaxing and sleeping when consumed in the evening times. We need to be consistent with our sleep as well, and can't just take naps whenever we want to and not on other days. We need to sleep in a cycle. Our body needs to learn when to sleep and how to sleep, and if we train it, it'll make it easier to sleep when we're supposed to. So in conclusion, I just think that sleep overall, of course, is great, and I think everyone likes it. I don't know how you couldn't. But it's very important for us and for our health, and Americans aren't getting enough of it. So I think everyone needs to take the time to figure out how we can get more sleep throughout any means necessary so that we can live efficient lives. Thank you.